You ready, Hayes? All right.
Okay.
All right.
So it's Travis DeFries, DeFries, spokesperson for King County Sheriff's Office. And this morning at about 12:20, our deputies got a call to this intersection at 15th and Roxbury for a fight. And they arrived and met with a group of people, including our victim, and spoke with them briefly about a fight that happened. But they were all pretty reluctant to give any information on the fight. Our deputies have dealt with our victim and her friends previously and know her, and they stayed in the area feeling that this may erupt into more violence. And so just before 1 o'clock this morning, they were actually walking around the block in the area and heard some gunshots from this intersection. They responded back over here and found our victim deceased in the roadway there. She's a 22-year-old female Pacific Islander, and now we're working with her friends to solve this crime. We don't have any information yet on suspects other than they ran off on foot. Our major crimes unit is working this. They're going to work hand in hand with detectives from our gang unit until we can rule out whether this is gang involved or not. We do have the best detectives in our gang unit here in the area, and so we're going to solve this. So my advice to anybody involved in this incident would be take the first step, contact us, and let us know what's going on, because we're going to find you. We're going to figure out who this is, and we're going to find you.
Well, sir, the suspects, were they female also? Do we know that?
We don't know any of that information yet.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, you said this person that you're familiar with, do they have a record? I mean, what do you mean by familiar, sir?
They're familiar with her in this area. They contact her on a regular basis. Her and her friends are generally in this area, out and about on foot at night. So they've dealt with her several times. I don't know anything about an arrest record or not, but they just know her from the area and from people working this beat. You get to know the people in your beat.
So you've got roughly about a dozen or so people over in the parking lot.
Correct.
How many of those are the friends, and how many of those might be some of the people who you said were out earlier?
Well, it's a combination of friends and family that are showing up. There were 2 or 3 other people with her at the time, and they're not here. Our detectives are interviewing them right now.
Well, sir, was there a club or some kind of party, or is it just basically just hanging out?
They're just in the area, correct. And when our deputies contacted them about the fight call earlier, and that was phoned in just by a witness coming by the area, they were hanging out in the bus shelter over here. It said that they're fine, they're going to catch a bus, they're going to leave the area. Our deputies sat and watched and saw that they weren't getting on a bus, and so they had a feeling that it may erupt again, and so that's why they were in the area.
Now, was there a gunfire exchange, sir? Do we know that yet?
We don't know that yet, no.
So we don't know if this person is known to the victim or anything yet?
We don't know the relationship between suspects and victim. No weapons have been recovered, either from suspect or potentially that this group may have had. So we don't know if there was an exchange with gunfire.
Who called it in?
Well, we heard it.
You heard
Our
it.
deputies were walking about a block away and they heard it.
Now, there's a canine unit out. Did they track
It
lead
was
any?
unsuccessful at this point.
What's next, sir? What's the next step here, sir?
So our next step is what you see going on behind me. We've got crime scene units out collecting evidence and documenting the scene, and then we have our detectives from our major crimes unit that are dealing with the witnesses, the friends of the victim right now, and speaking with the family to learn some history, see if there was an ongoing feud with somebody. So they're going to work all the angles they can, and we're going to figure out who did this. I'm confident of that.